Back to the Summon NA qualifiers. We got NP going up against Complexity. This is game 2 in the best of 3. NP currently up 1 game. Good play from both sides, but NP just a little bit better, just a little bit more farm. We'll see what Complexity have to say about that here in the second game. I'm Mike Loris, going to be joined by Kefka. And, well, this looks slightly familiar. CM first pick for NP. Complexity deciding to ban out that Ember Spirit early, though.
Yeah, both teams changing their opening bans. NP getting rid of the Turboblade. I'm not sure if this is like an order thing, why it's gone now. Complexity with Ember, and NP with the Crystal Maiden opening. Crystal Maiden opening is like one of the nicest opening you can do because it leaves so much options for everyone else. Like you have like a pretty strong laner, like a potential jungler as well, and pretty good at kind of like jungling / ganking other lanes as well. So also some heroes I think kind of gets enabled by CM, like Darkseer, especially Darkseer, got nerfed with the mana cost, and CM kind of enables that completely, which is very nice. So I really like an opening like this.
Yeah, I mean, it just enables, as you said, so many other heroes. We saw NP pick up a Bristleback the other day. Definitely a hero that makes really good usage of that extra mana. If you pick up a Lina, a hero that usually will just be winning the lane by herself, you can absolutely destroy the lane with infinite Dragon Slaves. So yeah, the flexibility I think that this Crystal Maiden offers is really unparalleled. Earth Spirit, Juggernaut, definitely no slouches in that regard either. I mean, we see Juggernaut go towards mid lane, but most often it's going to be going towards that safe lane. And if you want to play the long game, Juggernaut's kind of okay with that. If you're looking to play a little bit aggressive, Healing Ward, Omni Slash is good for that in the early stages as well. So it does seem like nowadays it's all about just keeping your draft open. Every single time I've seen a team commit really hard into a particular strategy, like an early Timbersaw pick or an early Nature's Prophet pick, they've always just been completely screwed because they can't deviate their draft.
Yeah, it's pretty meta to be as open as you can. I think most teams try and do this, and I feel like Jugger is kind of one of the scarier heroes though, because I feel like both Legion and Axe kind of counters that hero pretty hard, or pretty well at least. But NP gonna go with Abaddon. I'm not sure about MSS hero pool. I'm assuming he plays Legion at least. Almost every offlaner plays Legion now, and I know he has played Axe before, but Abaddon is definitely maybe his most comfortable hero, I think at least. Pretty nice though. I think it's a bit weaker in lane compared to the ones I mentioned, but it's also one of those heroes that kind of leaves your draft open, because this hero can be a very nice supportive hero, utility based, but also kind of a carry hero, which is very nice.
We've seen MSS tear things up with the bat in the near past. Add Clockwork to that list for MSS, and I think you've got yourself a pretty well-rounded, aggressive set of heroes for the MSS. And Abaddon, at least in this situation, is another hero that has some pretty nice benefits along with that Crystal Maiden aura, because of course mana translates into health for the Abaddon, so that's not bad. And up against an Earth Spirit, that shield may just be a lifesaver when you're talking about dealing with stuns and silences from the Earth Spirit. If you're not going to catch those on the Abaddon, then you're going to be hard-pressed to get those kills. Now, to be fair, Z-Freak did play a mean Earth Spirit in the last game, several hero stuns, so it's definitely not infeasible for him to just lock down the Abaddon and his target. But it's a nice defensive hero up against that Earth Spirit, but still with the capacity of going offensive with that Blade. It really does depend on what NP want to do aggressively. If they want to play a fast game, Abaddon fits right in.
Yeah, Z-Freak especially on their Spirit played well before and can definitely do well against these heroes. I think Abaddon is a hero that kind of has trouble dealing with Earth Spirit at times, because he kind of needs something to remove silence, but it doesn't really fit his natural item build. Lotus is okay. It can sometimes be really good. It's pretty good against Jugger as well, so that's a pretty nice item for him this game. But it's pretty expensive if you go like mass utility, like you go Solar Crystal all the times and then also Lotus, and you don't really have that high hero pool, you get into these small problems. And if Z-Freak plays well, he can really deal with these two heroes well. And some bans going out, Darkseer has become extremely popular lately, and gonna be banned out. Nyx banned as well. kind of good against CM and Abaddon, but maybe it's a bit of a. In the future, they're looking to pick up maybe Invoker, Storm, or hero like this, and Medusa, which I think both Fata and Envy probably plays. So they might be banning it for that reason.
Wop and Ursa on the other end, being kicked out by the Complexity side. Ursa, good matchup against the Juggernauts, pretty good at killing off Roshan with the Abaddon, and Abaddon curse with the Ursa. Turns a hero that really doesn't kill towers very well into a very effective tower killer. So the bans definitely do make sense, and we could see just they're trying to keep themselves as open as possible. But now's about the time when you have to start making a little bit of a commitment. Of course, with these kind of deviated first bans, we have Tree and Protector still in the pool. We've seen very little love for Monkey King, a surprisingly low amount of love for that hero. Earth Spirit's already going to fill that role, so it's not there for complexity necessarily, but it's still a lot of powerful heroes, especially if NP want to play that aggressive style with that 4 position.
Disruptor. Very good against Abaddon, I think, generally speaking, at least. Abaddon kind of does well with taking his ultimate when he gets low, but I feel like people are better nowadays because people like itemize with Silver Edge, and then like Disruptor glimpses the Abaddon back, and then Jugger comes in with a Silver Edge hit, and then he can't, and then it disables the passive of the ultimate, and he can't proc it because he's silenced. So I feel like this has become, people think about this more than they used to do maybe a month ago. So I think that could be a good way to deal with that hero. Ogre Magi picked by NP. So far they have like 3 kind of a buff heroes. The CM kind of is a good aura, Abaddon kind of buffs another hero, Ogre does the same. So probably looking for a strong core, and like I mentioned, they banned Nick, so Medusa is a pretty good option so far, and Complexity doesn't have. I wonder if I'm not sure how much these teams know each other, but I'm really looking for a hero like that from NP.
Yeah, I mean, just get some sort of absolute powerhouse of a core hero. Medusa definitely is pretty much at the top of the list, and I guess it's a little bit less likely that they go in for the super fast game now. Ogre Magi, CM, they're okay playing that kind of aggressive game, but killing off towers is going to be more so towards the late game where they're going to look to do that. Complexity with the Omni Knight pick, definitely a good hero to have up against the Ogre Magi, great hero to have up against the Crystal Maiden as well. It's just a solid offlaner in general for Complexity, but really picked because he's able to stand toe-to-toe with the Ogre Magi in that lane. Doesn't have to really worry about the Crystal Maiden, who's most likely going to be more so in the jungle than poking in lanes. And they're kind of banking on the Omni Knight, played by Moo, most likely to have just a free roll on that top lane. I'm pretty sure they're going to get it. It's definitely not too late for NP to pick up a little bit more of a kill lane up towards top. For right now, it's Templar Assassin, the pick for NP. Not as late game as the Medusa, though she definitely can still get there. A Bloodlusted Templar Assassin with extra health from the Abaddon, that can ruin your day.
Yeah, this hero has become super strong. This last 2 patches become one of the more meta mid heroes. Before it used to be like this off pick, but now it's like it's picked or banned almost every game nowadays, and she stacks Ancients very well, she clears them very well, and usually hits very good peaks in strength, where you can kind of utilize that. You can get a good Roche and stuff like that, so very nice hero. And it's also, I feel like this hero kind of struggled in late game before, but with the Refraction, level 25 talent, and some other stuff, it's kind of become better, and which is why it's become more popular as well. Complexity gonna ban out the Bristleback.
10 seconds remaining.
Not 100% sure. I guess it's maybe it's some Scrim stuff.
Yeah, it's just an NP thing. I don't think any other team is really going to be super likely to pick up a Bristleback. It's pretty much just NP. So, just getting a little bit meta in these bans would have been pretty nice to have a pure physical damage hero like a Templar Assassin with the minus armor, with even more of that from the Bristleback. It would have worked out fairly well, despite being up against Omni Knight and Juggernaut, usually pretty well prepared for that, but for NP, Templar Assassin definitely can play the faster game, and now a Faceless Void from NP. Just a great hero to have with Bloodlust, for sure. He's going to be very happy about that, but for NP, they they will struggle to put damage into that Chronosphere. It's very difficult for Templar Assassin to find those angles unless this Faceless Void just lands the most nuts Chronospheres of his life.
Yeah, I feel like they're putting a lot of pressure on themselves now with this Void pick. Because like you said, they don't have a lot of damage. It's more or less only TA. So whoever plays Void has to be really good with his Chronos. And you don't really want to have a situation where the Chronos have to be perfect, you know, then it's maybe not the greatest pick. So putting a lot of pressure on themselves to perform. I'm assuming it's Envy who's going to play the Void. I feel like Fata, TA, I feel like Fata shouldn't play Void at least. And then it's like MMS or Envy, and I'm assuming MSS play Abaddon, so it should be a Envy Void. So he's confident if he does this. And OD from Complexity, really good in general. This game kind of struggles a bit against TA, but is very good against Abaddon, and just a generally very good hero. If he can hit a lot, he's gonna be very nice. It's kind of nice with Omni Knight, you know. It's like Medusa-ish heroes. Omni Knight buffs OD, and OD just goes in and destroys everyone.
I mean, it's another high damage core hero for Complexity for the mid lane. Good matchup versus the Templar Assassin. But it's also that kind of mixed defensive power from the OD that comes into play up against the Faceless Void. Like, if you're banking your entire game, or your entire draft off of the Faceless Void, Chronosphere, well, OD is just going to say, nope, you cannot kill anyone, because I'm just going to disrupt you from the outside or disrupt your target on the inside. And when you're looking at the Omni Knight as well, for the Complexity gaming side, played by Swindle Mounds. I don't know why I said just move earlier, whatever. Omni Knight is also going to have that same thing to say. It's like, oh, you're going for my friend? No, Guardian Angel and Purification. And yeah, maybe Faceless Void is going to have the Diffusal. Maybe he's going to be able to get through that Omni Knight. But it just seems like Complexity have so many good answers, both kind of reactively and proactively up against this Faceless Void. I'm really liking where Complexity Gaming have landed with their drafts up against what MP have.
Yeah, definitely a big advantage when it comes to ease of execution, where MP kind of has to outplay Complexity. But far from, I wouldn't call it an outdraft. Just because you have an easier draft to execute doesn't mean you outdrafted opponents. So still gonna see how the game's gonna turn out to be. And Swindle was playing the Omni, right? So it's an offlane Omni. And I think Fair was playing the... Was it the Jogger?
Was it?
I need to see here.
Yeah, we'll check again.
So Mu is playing the OD. This is... I wonder if they have a plan with this. He's heading top already. So I am very interested to see what happens, because OD aggressive tri-lane seems weird, if that's what they're looking for. I guess the passive is kind of cool in a way, because you can kind of spam spells more, but they don't have the greatest support to spam spells either, so...
OD is definitely a level-hungry hero. If you're underleveled as OD, you will struggle to do damage, even if you do have that extra bit of farm. Disruptor, Earth Spirit, they're finding the offensive tri-lane, and they're really trying to abuse the fact that CM doesn't want to be involved in early game fights. Faceless Void doesn't want to be involved in early game fights. He can put out a lot of physical right-click damage, but up against this many heroes, he will struggle. So in that sense, I kind of like the idea from Complexity, but I'm not really sure if these are the right heroes to have in the situation, if that really is going to be their end game plan here with this lane. And the bottom lane, Swindle Melon's already spotted out for MP, so they know that something's up. Since Omni Knight shouldn't really be in this area, we'll see if NP are going to make any sort of lane rotations. Pi, well, he's just looking to get the block off. EE's not moving anywhere, so yeah, it seems like NP are just committed to these lanes.
Yeah, a bit surprising how this is turning out. Not sure how this match is gonna be in the safe lane for NP, or move a bit too late there. Should have run up a bit earlier. So the NP side got 3 bounties, which is nice. Fata mid TA versus Jogger. I am not 100% sure how this matchup goes. I'm guessing it kind of comes down to the support rotation, and maybe TA with a slight edge, I think.
I mean, the refraction defensively not going to do a lot versus that spin, but for right now, Furo's got to worry about AUI the Ignites. There is a lot of vision here for both sides. Roll in is going to be dodged. Z-Freak slightly off the mark there. Furo is going to start working into AUI, but you know, he's an ogre. He's never going to die ever to just physical right clicks, and it is going to be an absolute brawl of a lane, but that is, again, something that an NP really has to be careful with. going up against this spin of the Juggernaut. Hasn't leveled it up just yet, but will eventually be there. But we have a couple of slower lanes. Bottom lane MSS on the Vadin going up against Omni Knight, so it's like Omni Knight versus evil Omni Knight, and no one should really get a huge lead in that lane, I would imagine. Top lane Envy is going to be going up against OD pretty much solo. But again, no one should really be dying there. It's going to be over in mid where someone is probably going to die.
Yeah, it seems like it's gonna be pretty passive lanes. Even in mid, I feel like the teams, the two mid laners doesn't have the best killing potential. Jagger can kinda kill, but I feel like NP's not gonna let that happen, so it's gonna be a pretty stale lane. And I'm not sure who favors in this kind of a laning setup. Moo seems to be doing very well on top. Envy's gonna struggle a lot here. But Piladai is kind of jungling, so they're kind of sacking Envy to an extent to get Piladai more farm. So we're gonna see if he can make that early levels and early farm advantage into something on the other lanes. And bottom lane, I have no clue. I'm assuming this is gonna be a complete farm for both, where no one is really gonna be in kill threshold. Maybe slight advantage to MSS because of the shrine.
We'll have Ogre Magi for right now rotating in, but as soon as Ogre Magi rotates out, they're going to jump in mid. Fada with the full force of the Blade Fury will go down. Fio's taking a couple tower shots, but he has a poor man's shield. Oh, actually a haste rune on Ogre will stun up the Juggernaut. Couple more whacks. We'll get the kill, and Z-Freak took the tower shot as well. He will have a roll angle out. AUI can't quite catch up as Z-Freak rolled over the cliff, but ended up on the low ground. So, yeah, he's able to get back to safety. Probably shrine up. AUI is just going to jack the bounty rune. It will be First Blood, still drawn by Complexity, however, as AUI, man, leave for like 5 seconds and immediately his core dies in lane.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of miscommunication there, where Fada probably has to play a bit defensive while it happens. I'm gonna say that Z-Freak did that roll intentionally, not going on high ground. It's Yuke Aoi. So I'm gonna say that that was intentional, he's that good of a player. He's gonna TP out to get some bounties. Unfortunately, Aoi was a bit quicker on that.
And this Ogre, level 2, pushing level 3, just needs one more creep to die. And, well, for right now, just going for a little more of an aggressive build. Fire Blast, Ignite. Interested to see if he's going to kind of fully commit to that, or if he's going to start going straight for the Bloodlust. With an underfarmed Envy, getting extra points in Bloodlust is looking perhaps a little bit more unattractive, but still you can Bloodlust and Abaddon, have him go to town, it'll do a lot of damage. Fada, speaking of a lot of damage, will take a spin, full to the face, with the kick there as well. He has a refraction to put up, and he will use it at the end to save his life. 28 HP, he'll be just fine. Unless Z-Freak has another roll in, which is possible. Actually, Disruptor comes in from the side. Fada will get glimpsed back towards Z-Freak and Firo. With the Thunderstrike, they'll get the kill, but it's most likely at the cost of Z-Freak. One more hit. Ogres, yeah, gonna bash him in with the club. But, I mean, even though NP are getting return kills, they're losing the Templar Assassin a lot more than they really should be.
Yeah, especially Fata is there. I feel like the hero that kind of needs to do very well, because Envy is struggling a lot on top lane. And MSS is getting some good stuff, but Fata is definitely the one that kind of needs to take control over this game when it gets to mid-game. And it's not the end of the world if he dies a bit and loses the lane, because they are stacking the Ancients relatively good, I think. They got one so far and probably gonna get the next one as well, and he can make a good comeback from that. And these 2 deaths now might not even matter when it gets to mid-game.
And this bottom lane is just such a weird lane to watch. Like, both heroes, so much sustain. They're just like right-clicking each other freely.
Oh, face boots pick up though. That's kind of a big advantage actually.
Melons will purify, but that pops the shield, effectively nullifying the purification. Now he's out of mana. MSS with another shield. At lethal damage once it pops, it'll be close. Actually, it doesn't land. Now MSS, he does have the phase to get away, but Butterfly is here to bring him right back in. Unless he gets the juke in the nighttime, we'll get the glimpse right back to the trees. Get purified. There's another shield here for MSS though. He's going to start right-clicking into Swindle Melons, and the damage will add up. In the meantime, Fada dies again. But this chase is too exciting not to watch. MSS will get the kill, as it will be a 1-for-1 over in mid. Firo going to be chased down by the supports, and should be brought down. Yes, Jug will fall. And it looks like the Disruptor was able to teleport out of that bottom lane as well. So it's going to be a 2-for-1 across the map, as MSS just disrespecting the Complexity heroes and is going to get away with murder on bot.
Yeah, he forced the Vlad to TP out as well, so pretty good place by MSS.
Oh,
Oh, top lane. This seems like a good dodge by Envy, and I'm pretty sure he's getting out of here. If Mu was 6, maybe they could kill him. Oh, actually.
he doesn't have any help coming because everyone's on bottom lane trying to kill Swindles. Who's actually going to get a couple purifications off. Envy is hiding in the trees. Stay in the trees, words of wisdom forever. And it looks like actually everyone is going to live. Envy's going to poke back out again. Still there's Z-Freak in his top jungle above his tower. Envy may not expect that, but it looks like with the amount of regen he has, he should be just fine. But with this bottom lane situation, things are kind of getting out of control. MSS now with a little bit of Bloodlust, has these extra levels coming in, so the shield hurts a little bit more. Plus, just land that first hit, the next hits with the Curse and the Phase Boots will be very easy to land in Swindles. As tanky as he is, well, he has another Purify. The chase is on. He's going to find himself in a corner, though. That's not much of a chase. It'll be AUI. Somehow, he's a 4-0-0 Ogre. He's been getting all the last hits, apparently. So, yeah. Ogre Magi in the house, for sure.
I was gonna talk about Aoi having a bit less farm-heavy hero this time around. Might not snowball as hard as he did last game. But he's trying to prove me wrong, for sure, in that regard. But there's a lot of action in this game. I thought it was gonna be a bit passive, because it seems like hard to kill lanes. But I guess Abaddon, MSS especially, is playing so well that he kind of diving on bottom lane, and it kind of drags. The supports aren't really sure what to do, and then in mid lane they can dive TA because the supports are trying to help MSS to get that kill on Swindles, and it kind of the game flow becomes awkward for both teams, and that's why a lot of kills are happening.
Well, NP, they in that earlier trade did end up still losing the Templar Assassin, so Fada not farming as comfortably as he really would like, but ultimately with all these trades, Juggernaut not able to get away with as much gold as he would like, is still behind Fada in farm, albeit just slightly. The stack was scouted out by Z-Freak, so Fada's gold a little bit in trouble here, but it may be forced to go for that stack a little bit earlier than he would really like before his fraction is really maxed out. But still for NP, like, bottom lane is going pretty well, but top lane is kind of a disaster zone where Envy is really struggling to get last hits up against this OD, and this matchup is just not fair for the Void.
Yeah, Mu is actually getting good levels as well because of the kind of high rotation on the supports. So even though this kind of was supposed to be some kind of aggro lane, it's basically him having a freeform lane and also getting the levels that he kind of needs. So that's very nice for complexity. On the other hand, Swindle is doing way worse than they kind of expected him to do, and I think he might go down again.
Big team fight in this mid lane brewing. We'll keep an eye on the Omni Knight as well, but they're going to get the jump in onto the Disruptor. He's going to put up a field that's not really going to help him up against TA. He'll get picked off, and everyone else should be fine. That was actually not as much action as I thought. Looks like Swindle's also survived.
Yeah, he made a really nice play. Cut a path and hid in the woods until MSS got there and then kind of countered with Purification. That was pretty nice by him. So a lot of action. There's like kills attempts on both mid and bottom lane for almost 5 straight minutes now. And Envy going around Talon. Mu is not getting a Midas so far on OD. He's getting a solo crest actually. And MSS getting a solo crest as well. A lot of Qs going up. You're gonna see like who's going Midas and what at this point. So it's pretty interesting to check stuff like that out. How many ancient stacks are there? A decent one there, but not anything here close to Fada right now.
How are NP like only getting these purple guys? What is going on here? They're gonna be kind of okay with that, but MSS on bottom took a big hit. Now. He has another shield, but now with Move's arrival, he actually still has his ultimate. Swindles hit with the Ignite, but will be just fine. Has another Purification. If Mu can catch up with an Imprison, that should be a kill onto AUI, but the Ogre is a little bit too fast. And Mu is, not able to catch up. NP dived a little bit deep, but ultimately unpunished.
Yeah, that was pretty lucky by MSS. I think Mu didn't expect the ultimate and kind of got caught off guard by having... Because MSS was one attack from dying, and then like mid-air, of the attack animation, the ultimate got off cooldown, so he survived because of that. And Mook didn't react in time to Imprison. Even though it's a level 1 Imprison, I think he would have been in range if he reacted instantly. Oh, Pilot is using ultimate to help out Fada. That's pretty nice.
benefit of these purple guys. Fada is gonna get so much extra cash off of this. Even has a haste rune in his bottle for right after. Does he have anything on the courier? Or I assume he just picked up either his full Aquila or his full treads. So yeah, the Templar Assassin's got her base items up now with that stack on top of the net worth chart, with MSS not too far behind. NP definitely in a good situation with this mid and bot lanes, and now they're gonna find an angle onto Moo. That is actually not Swindles, it's Z-Freak here to help out. It looks like it'll be just enough. But really for NP, the concern for right now is how do we get Envy enough farm back into this game. He's gonna go for that Iron Talons you mentioned before, and with this Hannah Midas build up, I mean, it does seem like he's kind of forced to go in for that. Faceless Void offlane used to be a thing, and we'll see about the same amount of farm as in this game for Faceless Void, so it's definitely possible. But Z-Freak over towards bottom will get imprisoned.
Oh, did you go too far now?
Oh, Static Storm gonna completely whiff. They do glimpse back the CM into nothing. So yeah, Butterfly's payload has been completely expent right now, and he's just gonna get beaten down by MSS with the Bloodlust there. They get the Ignite onto Moo. There's another imprisoned in 5. With more heroes coming in, seems like with 3 heroes coming in fact, NP will call it quits. A couple TPs will be cancelled there, but that is what you won't need to do if you want Eternal Envy to get back into the game.
Oh my god.
Oh, the
Envy,
BM!
please.
Yo.
Oh god, Envy, not like this.
We can enjoy it for right now, but eventually people are gonna get in trouble for that. Calling it right now, next tournament to start or whatever that they're writing the rule books right now. No audio, man, no audio, or else slap on the wrist.
I just want Complexity to make a sick comeback, and then at the end of the game, it's a disaster.
Kill Envy, it's a disaster.
Yeah.
Oh, but for right now, it's gonna be Fada to get a free one. Well, actually, the Glimpse angle is pretty good, and his TP is going to be cancelled with the kick. Furo's arriving pretty quickly. His double damage rune, Fada, he's going to get shredded by an Omni. Is there true sight here? Well, he's going to put up his shield. He's going to bounce for Pile Die, and with the freezing field, Z-Freak, he overcommitted. Fada will get a good amount of HP back from MSS, who's also made his arrival. Furo got baited in too far. He's going to go down. Field goes up, and will save the Disruptor, maybe. He's hit with a double slow. Sonic traps as well. He's gonna just get rooted down and obliterated by Fada. It's a 3 kill for NP. And they're just demolishing the map. They don't even need a Faceless Void. Like, 4v5, no problem, man.
I mean, classic Envy, right? I think Envy is pretty happy about Chrono to deny. I don't even mind it. Like, his team is winning for people. Like, why use Chrono to do anything? You can just use it to deny towers. So your team is still that good.
I mean, honestly, like, the Chronosphere synergy with the team and the fact that Complexity has so many good answers to the Chronosphere probably means that Chronosphere to deny gold is the best you're going to get out of it, at least for the next, 5-ish minutes until he picks up a little bit of extra DPS. Hannah Midas now up on Envy. It's actually an incredible item to have on Faceless Void because you get that attack speed component as well, so you get full value of that item. So, yeah, and Envy's definitely on the road to recovery. But I don't think that's what Complexity are concerned about. They're getting kind of bodied across the map.
Yeah, NP doing really good. He's basically recovered at this point. Fata is snowballing very hard. He picked up Blink here. Can he make a play? It's in backpack now, so he has to wait for some time.
There's a lot of heroes converging on top, and Envy is in like the worst position, but Complexity don't know he's there. They're just going to go for a straight push up towards top lane. OD straight pushing right now. Not exactly a powerhouse. And in the meantime, MSS, with that level 3 blade, is doing quite a bit of damage over in bottom. Complexity just kind of wasting their time in the jungle right now, losing a lot of health in this bottom lane.
Yeah, and NP being very efficient. Fero. Fata is 13 and Fero is 9. Oh god.
Oh, and Furo might be dead, actually. He'll get purified. Omni Slash with the Static Storm finally landing. They'll get a kill on the Crystal Maiden and maybe a setup on the Fada, but MSS will get his ultimate pops, and now he's going to go straight for this Disruptor again. Doesn't really have much game here. Will go down Fada. Standing strong into Furo. Oh, the GA lands, but the Miscoil doesn't care about your GA. Fada will get kicked in the face. MSS ended up shielding himself. We'll have another shield for Fada, and he's melded. Now going to try to fight his way out. He's going to get a blink out, actually. And in the 2v5, NP draw even across the map. Yeah, I mean, that's still really good for Complexity. They're able to kill off the Zabadan finally, but it's far from free.
Yeah, almost super good for complexity. I think they're okay with this. Oh, anyway, now with easy free-man chrono.
Oh, freezing field.
As well.
Oh.
No!
Come on, Pylai died.
Oh,
Doesn't matter. Still got the kill. Freezing field a little bit late. We'll still be using Envy. Gets blown up before he can time walk out. Pylai die. Will end up dropping, but now it's Fada. He'll slay the Disruptor and man fight up against Moo. Well, Psionic Trap slow. Lasts quite a long time in prison. Is maybe gonna save him. Well, Fada's actually gonna call it quits. No, he's thinking about going back in because he's got backup. Here, no, AY has no mana. Okay, I don't know why he went back in there. Smooth's gonna slaughter him. Triple kill. Just hit him once, AUI, with the Ignite in the urn. Yeah, it'll get him eventually. That's a disaster right there. And AUI trying to juke out Z-Freak. The boulder will land with the Magnetize. Ogre, as tanky as he is, will not survive. That could have been sick, man, but Pylai died, just walks a couple of steps too far.
Oh, that was one of the more entertaining fights I've seen in some time. First of all, with Pylai running into Chrono, it's pretty hard because the fishing field is not that long, so you kind of have to stand right on the edge. So I kind of forgive him to an extent at least. And then Moo played that so well at the end though. He knew that Fata would kill him, and he kind of didn't try and run. He tried to like start removing the refraction charges early, so he could then counter with the Sanity's Eclipse. And then he missed click, so he didn't astral himself and died because of it. So that was pretty sad to see as well. But both teams playing very well. Complexity were far behind at the start of that fight, but still performed very well and did some really nice individual plays.
Well, that was, keep in mind, a fight where NP, they lost their Abaddon before that really took off, so MSS could have had a lot more contribution there. And Complexity still confident in this mid lane. Will take a little bit of damage here on this OD. He'll be repelled, and he will stop taking damage almost completely. But just these handful of heroes, NP will drive away 4 heroes from Complexity. In the meantime, Fada's doing his job over towards bottom lane, farming, shoving the wave. Envy getting his gold as well with that Hand of Midas, is now looking for a little bit of extra DPS to mix in for his core build. It doesn't seem like anyone's going to be able to stop him. The farm game for NP definitely picking up, and for Complexity, they've been grouped up with these 4 heroes for a very long time now. Usually expect to take towers when you do this, but they haven't.
Yeah, NP are farming very efficiently. We saw this earlier as well, where kind of Complexity groups up maybe a little bit too much. And then, oh, Fata. Oh, do they have detection? He has sentries.
He's out of range of the glimpse? Just out of range! And now he's going to lose the tracking from the Thunderstrike, so they can't get him back with the glimpse, and they will. Chronosphere, the OD, unfortunately Pylai once again wanders into it. Still will get his spells off. Freezing Field should straight kill Moo, and AUI is going to come with the Fire Blast. Eternal Envy gets the kill somehow, but either way, it's still NP getting more kills on heroes that matter, and most importantly, on Eternal Envy. He got the last hit there. He needs that extra cash. He's actually very quickly going to start turning into a damage dealer as Yasha. Now purchasable. MSS Pi and AUI gonna smoke up. Unfortunately, get it blown by Z-Freak. Ignite still goes out, but AUI with the multicast, only level 1 Fire Blast, so it doesn't actually do anything.
Is tanky. He has a lot of HP, and
oh, but AUI glimpsed right back. Really hard to get in there up against an Earth Spirit, so they have to wait a little while. But he's an Ogre Magi. He will take an Omni Slash to the face, and he'll almost go down. But the stick charges save him. MSS has another shield. AUI is A-okay. Me Ogre, me live, and now Fada, he's going to make his arrival. He'll drive away Firo with the shield. Actually, he's going to jump down, again go for Firo. He's not able to continue the chase. Moo's going to arrive. AUI, really scared about going in this. And Envy doesn't have another Chrono for another minute, so he's just farming in the meantime. NP probably would be best if they just leave, and they will do so without a scratch.
Yeah, pretty intense. Looks like it could be a disaster for any team there, honestly. No, I think Pharaoh lacked mana for spin instantly after Omni Slash. Otherwise, I think he would have picked up 1 at least. And then Fata committing for Pharaoh, but very nice play by Swindle. Really, it's there that seems to fit him, like as a player. Like kind of like 5-man, he helps out his teammates, kind of directs them. And I think that overcommitting on a hero that Swindle is behind is an easy way to lose this game.
That is a sad Static Storm combo right there, and now NP with the double damage Fada. They'll just scare off Complexity right now, and they'll be just fine. I mean, we talked up Complexity's defensive rotations in the last game, and when you're talking about defensive rotations, you want to be defensively aided with an Omni Knight or an Abaddon, and
Oh, this
again, it
Roche
seems like
died
it's
in
right up their alley,
5
but
seconds.
Roche is dead in like 3 seconds. Double damage rune, Bloodlust, Flads, and now they're on to Moo. He's taking so much damage right now. Has a lot of help though with the Omni Knight spells. Chronosphere lands, but it's also going to catch Fada. They're going to try to focus down the OD. MSS also right-clicking in from the outset. Great chrono by Envy to get that damage done. And now they'll catch Windmelons as well as Butterfly. They'll all fall. And NP barely take any damage at all. Fada looking for Z-Freak. Can't quite catch up to him, but you know what? That's okay. Because he has a Desolator, and he is going to shred this tower.
What a disaster. Complexity looking, I felt like they were playing well. They were doing a lot of good stuff, but then suddenly NP has hit some kind of peak, a lucky DD, and then this game seems to be not over, but relatively close to being over.
The thing is, they started to do fine, and then Envy joined the game. Like, Envy has been kind of AWOL for the entire game because of how rough his lane stage was, and NP were doing a really good job for a vast majority with just 4 heroes, but now up against 5, well, they're going to jump with Z-Freak, ultimate onto MSS, he will get imprisoned, but still takes a lot of damage. They'll lose the Disruptor to Fada, now onto this OD. It's a 4-0, and NP will solidify the racks mid and jam the win home. Complexity, it looked rough for them the entire game, but it's very similar to how the first game went, where NP, yes, do end up winning. But Complexity, they had some game in this one.
Yeah, they're kind of... The game seems very one-sided, both of them, to an extent. But it seems also like Complexity are very close to doing the same thing as NP did this game. For example, we saw right before the DD, when T got the DD, that Vlad kind of messed up his Static Storm. And if he kind of landed that, I feel like the game could have been a complete opposite, where Complexity just took a team fight and took 2 towers and 1 Roche and stuff like that. But instead it was NP, and kind of a sad ending. You know, it kind of just, oh, TA got a DD, oh, we lost.
The GG rune right there. It is also worth noting that there is a chance that the Disruptor might be playing from somewhere in Europe. And as far as supports go, Disruptor, you do need a little bit of finesse to make sure you time your fields and static storms properly. So, I don't know, give him a month. I don't know. There's a Complexity house, right? So, like, get him in there and get him with decent ping, and you're definitely looking at a much different game in that situation. You could maybe say that that's the vast majority of this Disruptor's play is just working with, what, 300 ping?
Yeah, just when he chased T in bottom lane, that ping difference is like the range he needed. So, and killing T there, that can be a game turner as well, where they could start marching down some towers. So, I'm expecting them to bring everyone into the same location. I don't really think you can have players from different regions like this. The ping is too much in this day and age. The competition is too fierce. You can't really have a player play with that high ping. So I'm expecting them to bring everyone into NA.
Well, NP, another official, another 2-0, at least from what I've seen, and they are looking extremely good. Pretty much what you would expect. Just read off the names of the players that they have, and yeah, you know the team is probably going to be going pretty far. For right now, they're going to claim their win. I believe they actually know their opponent already. It's SG Esports. That's going to be played in the next couple of days. I don't exactly know when. It's not scheduled. Complexity, they have to face up against Midas Elite, so they're not out of the qualifiers just yet. They still have a shot to go through from lowers, but it'll be a little bit tougher for them. But we are done with this best of 3. Next best of 3 happening in about an hour. It's going to be Thunderbirds versus IsGG. So make sure to stay tuned for that one, guys. I'm Mike Loris. I've been joined by Kefka Dota. If you guys enjoyed the cast, well, be sure to stick around because there's a lot more Dota to come. Try to get someone else in here as Kefka is in Europe. Pretty late for him. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Mike Loris for myself, at Kefka Dota for my co-caster. Any final words, man?
Not really. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed.
All right, guys. Thunderbirds versus IsGG. A repeat of yesterday's match. It's going to be happening at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, it's an hour and 10 minutes.